And I'm going to close with this poem, which is the title of my last poetry collection called Americano. I look at myself in the mirror, trying to figure out what makes me an American. And I see Ecuador and Puerto Rico. I see brujo spirits moving across the backs of santeros, splattered with the red blood of sacrificed chickens on their virgin white clothes and blue beads for Yemaya, practicing religions without a roof. I see my own blood running the white sheets of a stranger, proud American blue jean labels on the side of the bed. I see Don Rosario and his guayabera sitting outside the bodega with his Puerto Rican flag, reading Time in the eyes of alley cats. I see my mother trying to be more like Marilyn Monroe than Julia de Burgos. I see myself trying to be more like James Dean than Federico Garcia Lorca. I see Carlos Santana, Gloria Estefan, Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, more than just sporadic Latin explosions, more like fireworks on El 4 de Julio, as American as Bruce Springsteen, Janis Joplin, Elvis Presley, and Aretha Franklin. I see Taco Bells and chicken fajitas at McDonald's. I see purple, red, blue, yellow, green, orange. I see Cheetah Rivera on Broadway. You see, I am as American as lemon merengue pie. As American as Madonna's bra, as American as Wonder Woman's panties, as American as the Quinceañeros, the Abduls, the Lees, the Jacksons, the Kennedys, all of us immigrants to the soil, since none sound American Indian to me, as American as television know after the anthem is played, and I am not ashamed. Jose, can you see? I pledge allegiance to this country, 'tis of me, land of dreams and opportunity, land of proud detergent names and commercialism, land of corporations. If I can win gold medals at the Olympics, if I can sign my life away to die for the United States, ain't no small town hit gonna tell me I ain't an American, because I can speak in 2 languages. Coño carajo, f you. This is my country too, where those who not believe in freedom and diversity are the ones who need to get the hell out. Thank you.
Thanks for coming all the way to San Francisco. You guys, we have one more performer, and it's fucking Armistead Maupin. Can you believe that? I'm so excited. He is a very kind man to be here. He's a total icon. He's the author of countless books, including the total classic Tales of the City, series. His book, The Night Listener, was recently made into a movie. He's here stopping by on his Michael Tolliver Lives paperback tour. Please welcome Armistead Maupin.
Thank you very much. Wow, I would not have missed this evening for anything. What a remarkable entertainment we've had this evening. You and I both know these things can be boring as all but not tonight. I like to read since I'm back home from a tour, I'd like to read the chapter that my editor at HarperCollins wanted me to remove. Have to set it up for you a little bit here. Michael Tolliver, San Francisco gardener, is 55 years old. He has a husband who's 20 years his junior, named Ben. And Ben and Michael have gone to Orlando, Florida, specifically Orlo Vista, Florida, because his mother is dying and wants to ask something of him. They don't understand what's happening exactly. And they've been out to the rest home, the Gospel Palms, and had a pretty awful day of it. So they've decided to take off and go to the Full Moon Saloon, the Bear Bar in Orlando. At the Full Moon Saloon, they meet a black bear, that is a husky African American guy, and the guy basically propositions them and proposes a 3-way. So they've never had a 3-way before, but they've decided, what the hell, he seems like a great guy. And they tell him where their B&B is. It's a place called the Inn Among the Flowers that has an overly floral motif. So the guys are all there. They're waiting for the third person to arrive. They refer to him as Mr. Johnson, but because was wearing Army fatigues when they see him, and he has the name Johnson stitched over the breast. It doesn't mean anything, really, because it was camouflage night at the Full Moon Saloon. For some reason, Ben and I both felt compelled to tidy up for Mr. Johnson. We tore through the place like dervishes, fluffing pillows and flinging socks into suitcases and rearranging toiletries around the sink. We might have been a couple of nervous hotel maids confronted with a surprise inspection from Leona Helmsley. "You first in the shower," I said, as Ben helped me fold the polyester bed cover and stash it in the closet. So he grabbed a razor and the red rubber travel douche from his shaving kit and headed for the stall. He was in there for a while, shaving his I figured, so I made a mental note to do the same. If you're going to barber down there at all, you'd better be faithful about it. A little stubble may be forgivable in a marriage, but it's downright inhospitable when you're, how shall we put this, receiving guests. When Ben reemerged smelling deliciously of Blue Malva shampoo, he was dressed in gray boxer briefs and a white V-neck t-shirt. "Is that what you're wearing?" I asked. He looked affronted. "What's wrong with it?" "Nothing, just wondering about the dress code." Ben fondled my crotch. "Wear your sweatpants. You look hot in those." "All righty then." I looked around the room. "Have you seen my ring?" "In the soap dish." "I swear, Mikey, you'd lose your head if it wasn't attached." This wasn't Ben, but my mother, spinning one of her golden oldies just when needed the least. I wondered if her death would finally release me from this telepathic nagging, or if I was doomed to spend the rest of my life in Norman Bates territory. "Better get a move on," Ben said. "He'll be here in 5 minutes." But half an hour later, after I'd shaved and showered and squeezed into my finest brushed stainless steel groin jewelry, Ben and I were still perched tentatively on the edge of the bed, awkward as wallflowers at an ROTC ball. The lamp we'd left burning to lend a sultry glow to the room was already, thanks to the Viagra, blazing with a brilliant blue-white intensity. Meanwhile, my growing hard-on was growing superfluous. "You sure you told him the room number?" "Absolutely." "And he seemed amenable?" Ben was amused by my wording. "Yes, he seemed amenable." "So what, he got cold feet?" "Maybe. Or maybe he just lost interest or got a better offer." Ben shrugged. "Who knows?" "So what's wrong with us? I'd f*** us in a second." He laughed. "I'm serious. Don't you feel abandoned?" "It's a three-way, honey. I don't think two people can be abandoned." "Can't they?" "He might just be late, you know." I looked at the clock again. 25 minutes. Only hustlers can get away with that. I considered that for a moment. "He's not a hustler, is he? You're not withholding something, are you?" Ben turned and looked at me in amazement. "You think I bought us a hustler and didn't tell you?" "Well, how pathetic do you think I think we are?" I smiled. "Some people would see that as thoughtful." He looked at me again. "Why would you think he's a hustler anyway?" "I don't know. I just sort of felt like he'd targeted us, like he'd been watching us for a while before he jumped into the conversation." "I didn't get that sense," said Ben. "Maybe I'm wrong then." Ben smiled sympathetically. "Poor baby, you're disappointed." "No," I said, just annoyed. He gazed down at my tinted sweatpants, then pulled down the waistband and stooped to give me a friendly lick. "No," I said, "I don't need a mercy suck." He looked up, chuckling. "Mercy suck? Well, whatever." Undeterred, Ben got down to business. "Mercy," I said, making him laugh with his mouth full. And that, of course, was when Mr. Johnson knocked on the door.